everyone.
Hello.
Oh, I think oops, I put this thing on the wrong order.
Wrong category.
Um, the mirror shows up over our faces.
Ah,
You know?
I'm gonna clean my webcam here so it doesn't look like my
I hope this
webcam.
this is gets on the stream.
Otherwise, looking a little
Oh, wait, does
hazy.
this work too? No. My Streamlabs never lets me chat from the tool, which is
Wow.
very sad. I was like, oh, is it finally gonna work? But it didn't. Maybe since I'm well, hopefully Cherry's in the chat too, but maybe you can handle most of the chatting.
Yeah,
Michael,
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
verbally
Cherry will
respond.
also be in the chat. Hi, Fox and Bull. We were just watching you on another stream
I'm
last
watching you
night.
watch a stream.
Yeah, we were watching you watch a stream. Hi, Wolf. Welcome.
Also, is my audio okay? Are we coming in clear?
We aren't sorry. No, it was a friend of yours, a really amazing Valheim builder.
Yeah, dawn,
Um,
morning darkness, but or
yeah,
dawn.
yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you,
Loud
Defense.
and clear. What? Actually, their name is Da Vinci. I learned. I had to ask
Da Vinci.
their stream. I was like, I don't want to say it wrong.
This is how I got a C in my secondary language
Oh, I
class.
sound low. Hmm. Do I sound better now or the same? I have NVIDIA
Oh,
broadcast on so that the dogs don't come through. So I might have to adjust something. Let me see.
oh, she's the one who introduced the game to you. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Crank it up, Steph.
Might just have to go without NVIDIA broadcast and then just pray.
You have a little gain dial on the back of your mic.
Yeah, I turned it all the way up, but I don't think it helped.
Oh, dang.
What about now?
Whatever it's worth, you sound great in our Discord call.
I know. Well, because Discord has really great noise canceling and stuff built in. So my HyperX Quadcast, not sponsored, but doesn't have any software for noise cancellation or anything like that, unfortunately. So uh, if you get too much background noise, let me know.
Can't hear you. You disappeared completely. It's just a pretty fish there now.
No, petty fish. Oh, you didn't watch that clip?
Pretty fish.
That clip is so good.
Oh, oh.
You gotta keep up to date with the memes, Michael.
Sorry.
Out of touch CEO.
My ship posting is not up to speed.
Awesome. We're getting some people filtering in. We're excited to chat with you guys today. It's been a hot minute
I
since we did a dev
know
stream.
it's been a bit, and we're going to tell you a little bit about why.
Oh, thanks for the
A lot of stuff.
follow, Light Corner. If I can read that right. Sorry, it's all the way on the edge of my second monitor, so I'm really
Yeah,
wishing
thank
I had
you.
glasses.
Welcome. Shall we reintroduce ourselves?
Yeah, let's kick it off. Do you want to go first, Michael?
Sure. I'm Michael. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO for Treehouse. You might have seen me from our trailer of the game.
He's the guy that jumped
Um,
in the pool. That's what he means.
yes, that's me. And before this, Steph and I actually worked together at Riot, where we worked on League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics launch and stuff like that. Now we're getting to work together again on this game, Voyagers.
Yeah, and I'm Steph. I'm the producer here at Treehouse, so I handle a lot of how builds get to you for playtest, what the team works on, our roadmap, dev updates, stuff like that. So that's a lot of what I do, and you probably see me in the Discord a lot, or sometimes in your streams. Yeah, isn't that cool, Fox and Bull? Yeah, we used to work together. Um, and actually, I think right before Michael left Riot, we had a nice little sync of hey, can you pass me on your mentorship? And then here I am, just back with him. Uh, but yeah, so we get to work on this game now. It's really awesome. Um, Thanks for the kind words. Love this game so much. Playing the test right now. Every time I start over, I'm excited. It never gets boring. That's great to hear, because especially I think we were really worried how long-lived playtesters could be, because there's a lot of content and getting reset all the time can be hard. But so I'm glad
Yeah.
that you've been able to see the positive of that.
The save reset life is a little painful, I think, for some folks. So we're excited to graduate beyond that when we hit early access.
Yes. Awesome.
Welcome, Katie, first time chatter.
Oh, there's some chatter. Great.
Oh my God,
Welcome.
another one. Shadow Eclipse. Hello.
Oh yeah, I think I
Looking
can't
forward to
see
the
the
game.
first time
Thank you.
chatters in here very well.
Well,
You're gonna have to
sucks
carry
for
that
you.
mantle.
Yeah, of course. Um, I only want to surf a deepling shark. Oh my God.
That's like the best
Um,
feature. I really love that. You can also
you think
surf
you're
the
about to be
stalker
eaten?
if you're really brave.
Oh, yeah, that one's asking for death. It's just Grim, another first-time chatter. Never mind resets in an early access game. It's to be expected. Well, thank you. We're deep in demo territory. We're just changing stuff super duper fast. But when we hit early access, we're definitely gonna have to raise our bar for preserving saves, of course, from update to update. So that's all part of the plan. Um,
Yeah.
so we got a couple things to talk with you about this time, because it has been a solid month since we last sort of had our last stream. First, we've been pretty darn busy. We were at GDC actually, Game Developers Conference, and we've been doing a bunch of additional playtesting, which it sounds like a lot of you guys have been participating in. And also, the game has changed so freaking much.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of what's been changing that we want to tell you guys about, and also just some of the feedback we've already been hearing over playtests for the last like week or so. And so can sort of connect the dots on some of the stuff we're hearing and what we're going to be doing about it. So maybe the first thing just to talk about is just how GDC went. So,
Yeah, look at these
this
cute
is
people.
yeah, look at us. That's us. Enjoy my double chin. So GDC, for you guys who don't know, is a game developers conference. It's one of the biggest in the world. I think in the past it's been like 30 some thousand game developers. So it really feels like, the industry coming together. And so for us, it was a chance to meet with a lot of these different groups and give them an update about what we're doing and hopefully get some like help in getting news out about the game. But also a chance for a few of us to get together that don't get to talk all the time because we're kind of spread out across the U.S. So we had some delicious food. Ryan, our co-founder and game director, myself, Cheery, who is super active with all of you guys and talking on Discord and stuff, and Billy, who has been previously on this stream, and he is our multi-talented audio designer, game designer, and other implementer, and worked on all the music we have in the game. Also, this is a shameless plug that Discord carefully orchestrated, and it's totally working. They had this thing where you could line up and get a gold pin engraved with the QR code for your Discord server, and Cheery totally lined up for it and got us one, and it's pretty dope. It's really heavy, it's metal, and it looks cool, and I like it way more than I probably should. Yeah, here it is.
Oh,
I
you
can
have
show
it on
you
your
right
desk?
now. I
Whoa.
do.
Looks better in
CEO
real life.
privilege. Ooh,
When you work remote, it's
ooh.
got to live at someone's house.
I know, yeah. Super dev status. You heard it here. There we go. Yeah, 40-minute wait. Also, you lined up and you can get other stuff. I got some stickers and Churi got a freaking keyboard. So that was pretty cool. Um, I think as years go by and as we become more experienced in the industry, the less it is the fun parts of GDC of going to talks and hanging out with like old friends and stuff like that. It's a lot more of like going to meetings and pitching and biz dev. So it was nice to have a couple moments like this where we're hanging out as a team and a little bit of time to go around and explore the expo floor and just see what else is going on. So that's been pretty fun, pretty different, and pretty busy as a time. But definitely a little bit of the glamorous part of being a game developer, I guess, is some of like the conferences and stuff like that that are actually really important for our industry. But as soon as we were back, like literally a couple days after we were back, we had the first of this new set of streams we were starting to do. And it was a little bit unusual, but we had reached out actually to someone that we knew on Twitch's sort of creator programs. And, you know, we're in this zone, and you guys can all see this because you see all these messages, but we're trying to playtest a lot. And we're trying to find more people to give us feedback about the game. And obviously, we're trying to get the word out about the game. And we were kind of going to Twitch and being like, it sucks to cold message just crap loads of creators. It's like such a sterile, cold, distant kind of interaction. Is there any way that we could actually get some help in connecting with some of these creators that might be interested in a game like ours? And would they want to playtest? Would they want to playtest with us? We would love their feedback. And so Twitch was pretty excited about that because I think they're also looking for other things to offer some of their like, you know, creators on their platform and be like, yeah, we want to show them like cool, interesting content and have like some perk of being like an affiliate of ours and stuff like that. So we set up these playtests that have been sort of running over this past week with a lot of super friendly, super helpful creators who are all down to just check out the game and chat and talk, which has been really, really cool. As opposed to like cold emails is like just the worst form of door-to-door salesman in like this modern age. Yeah, I mean, well, so Fox and Bull, as an example of being very friendly and communicative and down to share their thoughts, a lot of the hope is like there are lots of people who would actually want to check out the game even at this stage. It's just so freaking hard to get their attention. And I'm sure that kind of goes both ways. So Twitch was actually really helpful in sort of helping us connect the dots. I think a lot of different guilds, we popped up in like these different guilds, women's guild, I know like LGBT guild and black guild, all getting a post about like, hey, if you're into these survival crafting games, here's one that's coming up, and if you want to actually just play right with their development team, they would love that. And so we've been doing that, and it's been really fun. It's been the source of a ton of great feedback. Also, just some fun content for us to clip. I've been humorously objectified in some of these streams, which is a new experience for
and
me.
it's quickly become a team meme.
And the Latin Guild, awesome. Oh, and Live Love Ty, thank you for joining our chat. And Cozy Heart Gaming, another first-time chatter. Holy crap.
Welcome.
But honestly, for us, it's just like, you know, we're working on something. We think it's really cool. We want to share it with more people, and we're really craving this feedback at this really critical time where we're trying to sort of like hone in and polish and refine the game. So having this help to actually get some of that on top of even just like also other people discovering the game has been really, really cool for us. So if that's something that's of interest to you guys and your communities, please hit us up. We actually are trying to do more of these because they've been so positive for us, and we've gotten so much useful feedback. And so yeah, we've got a couple fun clips that we lined up here just for you to check out. And then, you know, if you check out on Twitch, we got a whole bunch of these that are coming in, and that's useful content for Cheery as well for social media purposes.
Wait, do I just click this? Is it gonna work?
Yeah.
Oh.
It should load,
in the
I think.
Frame? Oh,
Yeah, it should play in the frame. Okay, cool.
There's another one. There's a second one.
Oh,
Nabri, we have a form that Cheery can post to you guys. Oh, there's no audio coming through this clip.
oh, no audio coming?
I have to kill it. I have to kill it.
Oh wait,
Get him,
I
get
don't
him.
hear it.
Wait,
through
can we
Discord.
get him
Maybe
to eat the
people saw it
mine?
on
There's
stream.
mines. Get it.
I think you got one. I think you got one.
Ouch.
Yeah, can you guys hear the
Ouch.
audio in the clip?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
Yes, great.
Yay.
Can I ride him? No, I can't.
Sorry, we were talking over it though, so.
Yeah, sorry.
Shut up, Michael.
Oh, there's fish.
Oh.
Wait, what? Oh, right, jump. Okay,
There
I'm
is
gonna jump over
fish.
here. Okay,
Oh,
I panicked.
my
I'm
God,
sorry.
There's a lot of fish.
Oh, Po.
This is not supposed to be here.
And some funny
fine.
bugs,
That was a
right?
little
And that's just
unlucky.
honestly part of the
So,
joy right
I
now.
mean, the
Is
blue
just like,
bar
dude, there's
above
gonna
you
be
guys
bugs.
That's the petty
like
fish.
head, is that the health bar?
Yeah, that's
Michael?
the health bar. It's pretty.
Oh.
Right now.
Everybody jump down.
Why?
Michael, there's a fish. There's a fish on the Michael, there's a lampfish.
Oh my god.
It's coming for you.
Oh, that fish looks dangerous.
Oh,
Oh, you
Yeah.
can just roll.
Hop it.
Oh,
I
I'm
like
beating
the
it, I'm
roll.
beating it.
They
Beat
have
up, beat
no
up.
weapons. They're all like in this coral
winning.
cave.
That fish is not in water.
It's got a
Yeah, go back where you came from.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, go back.
This bug came up literally this week, and all the bug description said was they're evolving, and I was like, what the fuck?
One more. Oh, no sound.
Oh, he actually swallows your stuff, like your
Oh
honey.
my god.
And then,
Oh, you can pet him?
well, right now it's a wave, but.
Oh.
Let's see, give us a
Oh
little
my
bite.
god, this is so much better than throwing stuff in a hole in Valheim.
Right?
We also got some fun decorations.
Forget a lava block, you just need this little guy.
Are there different ones of him?
And then, not at the moment.
There should be. I want that so bad. Awesome. That's all the clips. We did not include the meme clip, Grum, but maybe if you message me on Discord, I can show you the meme clip. Exclusive access. Yeah, it was like really, it was so fun to like watch these streams, and we got so much like really great feedback from a lot of the content creator playtests, and also I think just types of feedback that, you know, it's different when you're getting feedback just like passively on Discord or even like watching a stream versus like Michael was literally like playing with them in the build, and so it's a really different environment to try to get that feedback in, and it's really interesting to see what people think and like what they play, and also to kind of walk people through some of, I think, at least what we think and hope are like the highlights of the game too. So that was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm preaching to the choir, because if you're hanging out in our stream right now, you probably are really deep in the know about what we've been doing. But you know, for us, like, this is all the super fun part of development after working on the game like hidden away for years, and so getting this feedback from real people like in real time is so gratifying and super useful for helping inform the game and make it better. So yeah, we're super excited to do more of this. So look out for more streams. So with an eye on the time, we should probably start talking about all the changes that have been going into the game, because there's been a lot of them.
Yes. I'll take a moment, actually. There's one quick question in chat that will be easy to answer. In the future, can we expect any ROI on what we toss to the bulwark? I think in the future we'd love to do something like that. We just haven't quite figured out what would be like the best actual thing, because we don't have farming or other things where, like, you know, people have been like, can we get poop out of the bulwark? And we're like, well, you could, but you're not going to be able to use it for anything. So we're trying to figure out what makes sense to give out, but that's something we're definitely interested in the future. Just need to find the right thing, right spot. Awesome. Yeah. I'm sorry.
One abiotic factor, and it's just everything's all about poop
Everything's
now.
about poop. I think I will say, I think one of the earliest questions I asked when we were working on different build kits, and we were like, oh, like what kinds of like settings do people need to build, and like what kind of fantasies would be fun, like a kitchen, like a living room, like a whatever. And I was like, do echoes poop? Do we get a bathroom? So I'm just saying, I predated abiotic factor.
Oh man.
Welcome into the chat, Take Cricket. I remember watching your stream. It was so fun.
Oh yeah, hey.
We watched a lot of your stream. Awesome though. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about what is new in the playtest. So yeah, we just late last week, I think, actually launched this playtest, and there's a ton of new content. And even actually, we mentioned we were watching a stream last night of someone playing the demo. It's crazy to look back at the demo and watch someone play that. And I was like, oh, I don't even know like what hockey this thing is. Oh, this content is still in the demo. I forgot. Like, the game has changed a lot over the last few weeks, and really, I think, cool and awesome ways. But so something that has definitely come into the playtest now multiple times, but I think is finally getting to a state where we're feeling really good about it, especially your feedback has been really helpful in finalizing it, is the Reef. I think it was just 2 or 3 playtests ago where we showed just like one zone of the Reef and got some initial playtest feedback on it. You only had a few extra levels of progression, and it was kind of like the first time playing just in zone 1. And it's really transformed a lot over. Oh, I wish I'd added some more screenshots because there's so many good ones. But
oh wait, here, I can grab some.
Yeah, there's some really good ones from Christina.
Yeah. What channel is that in? Oh,
I think our social media channel maybe.
Okay.
Or Voyager ship post maybe. which is
Oh,
for anyone
it's that one.
for anyone that wants to know, our internal game dev meme channel is called Voyager Ship Post, which I thought was really funny. So yeah, the reef is really transformed, and we've spent a lot of the last few weeks, maybe months at this point, kind of working on the zone 2 and 3, getting the whole biome finalized. We did a really big pass based off a lot of the feedback we were getting about resources and traversability and building spots and enemy camp density and a lot of these kind of areas that came up as you guys were like naturally playing through, like, hey, I can't find this thing, or it's too hard to make food recipes, or there's too many enemies, or like this part of the map is empty. So we've made a lot of big changes to try to address that feedback, and I think finally shipped a version that hopefully gets really close to the mark, and we're really excited to continue getting feedback on this. But the reef is really awesome. I think actually it's been really well received too. I think better than we could have hoped. People seem to really dig the vibe of it and the new gameplay mechanics, and like the diversity of the zone compared to like the first one, which is really awesome. Because I think especially even going into it, we were like, oh, it is like another sea biome. Like it's not, maybe as different as people might expect. Like what's that going to be like? But luckily, I think we were really able to push the unique kind of canyon aspect and verticality of this map in a way that felt really unique and novel, which is awesome. Oh, look at that. This is one of the, I think, team's favorite building spots in the reef.
Yes, yes, it is, definitely.
I feel like from the outside, when you're in game, this cave doesn't look big enough to build in, but once you like go inside it, somehow it's like really expands. Yeah. Oh yeah, the early reef was definitely a death trap. We definitely got a lot of helpful bug reports about the ranged mobs being way too strong, and we figured out that it was a bug, so that was very helpful. I was like, maybe we just like scuffed the balance, but no, it was a bug. This is like the entrance actually to one of the ruins. This I think wasn't in the first few playtests, but this was like one of the ones when we went back and did a pass based off of the feedback and trying to push the uniqueness of the zone. We had this really awesome ruins level, which is where you kind of fight like the mini boss and stuff. This is another kind of shot of it. But really awesome. A lot of really fun progress. It's been really fun to see people reacting to it and exploring it, and I can't wait to ship a third biome. It's gonna be so fun. Which we're not ready to share any info about the third biome yet, other than like some like basic details, like we're working on it, but we hope that we'll get some version of it into playtesters' hands soon. We are definitely working hard on it. Another thing actually that was not quite working in the last few versions, and it's kind of like one of our newer gameplay mechanics, is these corruption zones and these corrupted spires. I think actually just 2 playtests ago also, these like weren't quite working, and you guys reported a lot of really helpful bugs that we couldn't actually quite test or get internally. So it was super helpful to have people like trying out these mechanics, and we got a lot of feedback on like the difficulty and the balance. We still have some work that we want to do in this area, but these actually work now, and so you have this kind of like cool mechanic that you can kind of like cleanse the biome as you progress through it, and kind of like restabilize its like energy. So that, I think, has been really cool, and definitely a lot of helpful feedback that's going to help us continue to improve that feature. This is the meme, a little bit. That's the spoiler of the meme. From Fan's chat. Underwater gameplay also has gotten a lot of investment. I think some of these changes are in the newest demo too, but we've continued to kind of like push this and add new mechanics, tweak enemy density. We've gotten a lot of feedback too that in some areas there's like no enemies, and it's kind of surprising. In some areas there's way too many. So we're still working on this. We know there's a lot of bugs in this area too, so we're trying to squash them, because actually to support our underwater gameplay, we kind of created a whole new spawning system that's just for these types of enemies, because we needed to do things like, kind of be able to control like, okay, like these kind of can spawn in like a really big zone, and we want to kind of like variety of the types of enemies that could show up in the zone to like show up. So we don't want to just be like, oh, it's always 3 fish and like 4 snappers. We wanted to kind of have some variation and make it feel like organic and natural and like alive in the world. Oh, thanks for the follow, Felix Wind. And so we've done a lot of work on the underwater gameplay space, and we'll continue to work on that, and we're getting so much great feedback. But the big new feature, I would say, and the thing that's probably most different from the demo that you've played today, is our changes to spirits. And so spirits in the current demo, actually, this is what blew my mind when I was watching the person play last night. She's like collecting the eggs and like incubating them and all this stuff, which was a cool and novel mechanic in itself. But we were looking at this mechanic, kind of how people were receiving. Some people really loved it, and so, you know, obviously it's always sad to remove something that some people really love. But I think it was falling a little flat for most people. And we were kind of worried that the rewards couldn't be exciting enough with the way that we were delivering them. Them kind of mostly changing, like, the crafting stations was, you know, there's only so many things you can do to buff a crafting station. And we felt like we kind of hit a ceiling of how exciting those could be. So we really spent a lot of time to revamp spirits, because they're such an important part of the world too. We really wanted it to be like this, like, special moment in the game, something that really feels like, oh, I can only get this type of thing in this game. Because it's like really one of our big focuses. And so we kind of really overhauled some parts of our base building, some parts of like the spirits themselves and like what they give, how you find them. We're still working on that too. We have a lot of updates coming, so we'll kind of show you some of that today or foreshadow it a little bit. But our big goal too was that spirits should be like more central to the game. Like, you should want and need them to like progress through the game. They were kind of a little tertiary or like side questy in the current demo. We wanted it to also be like really exciting every time you find a spirit, and we wanted to create more of like a one-to-one connection with the spirits. And so that was like a lot of the things we were thinking about as we like reworked these features. And I will preface this with, we've got a lot of feedback on these features. Some good, actually, I think, too. But definitely we launched this playtest in particular with a really work in progress, I would say, UI and UX for it. There's not a lot of quests or tutorialization about it. The UI is, I mean, I hope people don't think this is the UI we're going to ship. This is just text on the screen, hard-coded text. So it's very temporary UI. So I know like the legibility was really hard for people. We got a lot of great feedback, and it's actually been super awesome to get that feedback while we're currently working on the UI, because we've been able to like incorporate that, try to figure out, you know, where the gaps in understanding are, what's the hardest thing to explain, or even like, are there things we should change about the feature based off of like what people are taking away from it. So it's been super awesome. We actually had to push pretty hard to get a playtest out because the features were really complicated, and we're trying to like get them together. And it was actually, it's, you know, it's one thing when you, this is a very game developer thing, but just a little behind the scenes. It's like you kind of develop features like in a box a little bit. You know, on paper you've designed or thought about how they fit together, but when you're actually making the software, you kind of have to make it by itself, and you have to make each piece. Sometimes you can make the pieces at the same time, but eventually you have to like bring them all together, and they have to be this like cohesive, playable experience. And that's really like the hard part of game dev. It's never like making the thing work. It's like, do all of these things work together? Does it feel good? Is it fun? Can you understand it? It's all of those things that are like really complicated. So we were even, I think, a bit late in our current playtest because we were having some trouble getting all of these things together working. And we were like, but we really need this feedback. We really want to get a playtest. We didn't want to wait a whole like 2-week cycle. So we pushed really hard to get a playtest, and we've been getting so much great feedback, so it's been so worth it. So we added some base building mechanics, so now there's this kind of like what we're calling sanctuary power. So like as you invest into your spirit anchor and like level it up, you output sanctuary power, which does a few things. But it is a mechanic that helps power certain stations around your base, so it's kind of a brand new mechanic. We're trying to make it feel a little bit more impactful and like meaningful to build things in your base, give you reasons to build outside of like pure aesthetics, which I know a lot of people build just aesthetically too, and that's super awesome, and actually we want to keep supporting that. But we think that for some builders, I think they need a little bit more purpose or why they want to build, and so we're trying to integrate some like gameplay mechanics directly into that system. And so sanctuary power is one of those. So like it's kind of this like magical power that like as you collect and rescue spirits and build things for them in your base so that they can like be safe and kind of like stay there with you, your power output of your base gets like more powerful, and more spirits will actually be attracted to your base, and they'll show up more often, and they show up on your little like all like the little, we call them spirit amenities. There's probably a better name that is like less clinical sounding at some point. But like we call them spirit amenities. So there's like this little hot spring or this like pavilion or this like pet bed kind of thing that we like have like that we have as placeholders that you can build right now. And so the idea is that like as you build these amenities, spirits will feel safe, they'll want to come to your base, they'll come spend time with you, and the more that you level up your base and the stronger it gets, you know, that magical energy kind of attracts more spirits too. So it's a really fun experience, hopefully. you now find spirits directly in the world too. So there's no eggs anymore. We're going to work on some variations for these guys. But you actually now find them directly in the world and can just like pick them up. They're really cute. Some of these too, this is not in the current playtest build, but what we're working on right now is also making this kind of make a little bit more thematic sense and be like a little bit more fun as like a gameplay experience. So some of these spirits, actually I think this guy's pretty hidden. So some of them are kind of like what we call hiding spirits, and they're kind of placed in the world and hard to find places, so you're kind of tested in your exploration. But some of them are going to be locked behind like encounters, and so you'll have a kind of like an enemy encounter when you find the spirit that you'll have to complete before you can rescue them. Because they can't walk out in the middle of all those baddies. And then they'll unlock a bunch of things for you, but the biggest and coolest thing, I think, is these like new magical abilities that we have. We had a kind of concept of this in the old system with some of these passive abilities that have your companion, and people loved those. And they loved them so much that was like clearly like the best and coolest thing out of the system, and we really wanted to continue to invest in that because that was clearly, you know, outside of crafting and other stuff, that was like the key thing that people were like, I love this, I want more of this. And so we really have added a ton of like new abilities, are more active too. So before they were kind of all passives or things that happened around you, but now you have like new active magical abilities. Some of them help you play a more supportive role, some of them help you play a more attacker role, some of them help you explore, and so we're going to continue to like expand those, but I think there's a lot of really exciting stuff coming.
This is kind of related to what Steph was saying of going beyond just like how does this affect your crafting station, making those spirits feel felt in the rest of the game. Like this is probably the juiciest way that most people have suggested or thought of, like, oh hey, I would love if spirits could be a bigger part of like this other parts of our game. So we're trying to lean into that as hard as we can.
Yes, yeah. And they will also give you like special crafting recipes and other stuff too, so you'll still get some like crafting content through them, but it won't just be like you put them on a station and they kind of like work for you. It's going to be like, hopefully, yeah, you rescue them, they like impart knowledge on you or impart you with like the gift of like a magical ability, and then, you know, yeah, the more safe haven you create, the more spirits will come show up and hang out with you. We did also, we finally added, I think a lot of people had the no legs bug that they really loved to post about, but we finally actually added the real armor set, which also has legs, now featuring 100% more legs, but it looks really cool. We did add a helmet toggle too, so for people who have been requesting that from the demo, I know it's not in the demo yet, and that's a bummer, but we do have a helmet toggle, and it works super well. People have been testing that for us. Yeah, this is the new hardened scale armor set that is in the Reef. So if people are working towards this is something to look forward to. No one's actually posted about it yet, so maybe people haven't quite gotten there yet. And then
it's definitely harder to unlock than the layer before.
And then I didn't have like a good way to represent this, but we've still gotten a lot of feedback about hunger. We actually made a lot of updates to this current build, both like we tweaked the hunger values that like food gives you. We tried to like rebalance the recipes. We added more food to the biome, and we actually lowered the, I guess, rate at which you like become hungry by a pretty good margin. So hopefully this is feeling better. We'll continue to take feedback on this, but we're hoping that we finally got it to like a good spot, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on it, which has been great. Is a shield walk still in the game? Probably so. We haven't touched the shield yet.
Can still keep the shield up as you're moving about.
Yeah. Oh, great, Foxynix. I'm so glad to hear it's feeling better. Yeah, hopefully other people feel that way too, but we'll keep taking feedback on it. It's been, yeah, super helpful. It's really hard for us to play test that kind of content because we kind of know exactly what to make. We know kind of how to play to mitigate it. Yeah. But we don't want it being this like forefront pressure. We want it to be like a way to pose yourself for an adventure. We don't want you to feel like oppressed by hunger all the time.
Yeah. AK and I think Steph had a great way of saying this when they were on the stream together. AK was our back-end guru who was part of the stream a month ago. But we're just like our own volume of testing, and we playtest the game a lot internally. The moment that we actually set up a new playtest, we are completely like blown out of the water in terms of test hours by like that afternoon. Yeah. We're completely overwhelmed in terms of the amount of feedback we can get from you guys, from our Discord, much less the demo, because the demo is like a whole other level of visibility. So all this feedback is super helpful. We're going to keep working on it.
Yes. And honestly, it's been so amazing to see how many hours people put into the game too. Honestly, I think it's like more than we could have like hoped for, especially from like playtesting and like the demo itself. I think we went in thinking we had like maybe 3 to 5 hours of content, and people regularly put in like 8, 9, 10 plus hours of content, sometimes more. We actually have like a leaderboard internally where we can see like the top player hours, and it's like crazy. So thank you guys so much for spending the time to play our game and give us feedback, because it's so helpful. And like it's irreplaceable. We've been trying to play test internally to see these new features that we're working on, because it is important, but it's so hard because we also have to work on the game and we only have so many hours in the day. People are in different time zones, so it's so helpful to have people playing the game with us. Speaking of playing the game with us, is there anything else we want to share, Michael, or should we actually hop into the game and show some of this new content that's coming to the playtest soon?
We can show some of the new content. That's what people are here for. Welcome, Londies. Oh, is it? Wait. Oh, we played together. Hey, how's it going? Wait a second. I recognize that name.
Oh, I died.
You died.
Oops. I think an enemy came into the base while I was AFK.
Well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't send you the invite code. Am I online on Steam? Can you join me, or should I?
Yeah, I can just join you. I got you.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a tree in our house.
Oh, I died.
My stuff!
Yeah, I can see on your stream.
Oh.
It is not full screen, just FYI.
Oh, right, I meant to do that. Thank you for the reminder. Beep. Oh, God. Maybe that was... Oh, one sec. My computer is angry. I probably should have waited till you fully loaded in to start changing my settings.
I understand that. I get that.
Okay, I think.
Thanks for the follow.
I think I'm good. Also, Sarah, are you in?
Yes, I'm somewhere.
If you do the Reef Zone 1 teleport cheat, you can get over here. Because our base is just in the... So yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen the Reef, actually. So when I mentioned we're trying to playtest more and more internally, this is an example. We do a natural, like, multi-session playtest 2 to 3 times a week, where we actually have a kind of same save file that we play on over and over. We try to emulate, like, what real players are playing like. We just play for a couple hours in that slot each time. And it's been really cool, honestly, because normally we play with, like, cheats and we, like, just test, like, the specific things, but we've tried to, like, change our test process so that we can kind of see more of, like, what it's like to play like a player. And this is the, I'm very proud of this base, actually. It was bigger. I accidentally, I think, lost part of the save file. But I know, I was so sad. But I'm really proud of this base that me and my playtest group have built naturally. We progressed all the way through the Embrace, too, before this. You can see also, because we've been playing, even while the spheres have been changing, our map is all kinds of fucked up. This is our, like, natural playthrough base. No outdoor bar yet. I'm just surviving. I'm not yet thriving. It's a lot easier to build the outdoor bar when you have cheats, I will say. Oh, one thing I'm struggling with is exiting build controls. You can't escape to do it, and getting used to that is going to take some time. Yeah, we definitely really need to revisit the UX of the building paradigm, I would say. It's honestly actually existed in the same state for, like, a really long time. And hasn't gotten, like, a lot of updates, partially because people love it so much and it's been working so well, but it's definitely starting to, like, I think especially as the rest of the game comes up, show its age, and we need to revisit some things like that.
Yeah, that one in particular, with this wave of playtests, we've seen people default to hitting escape for that so much, and every time it's like, oh, we gotta fix that.
Yeah. So I tried to get these guys to face the right way, but it's really hard. You can't tell what the front of this cushion is.
That's a good point.
But yeah, so when we talked about spirits showing up in your base, and this is something that's, you know, you have these building pieces in the current build, but you actually don't have these little guys. We said they're coming. So yeah, the higher level your base is and the more amenities you build, the more spirits will actually show up. And so they'll come and sit on your little amenities, they'll hang out with you, they feel safe with you, they want to be here. And so you'll start to see these actually, like, appear in your base, and, like, the more and more you level up your base, the more of them are actually going to show up, which is, I think, a really fun feature. So you start with really just a few of them, but eventually you'll have, like, lots of them in your base. Have you changed the grid slightly for building? We haven't made any intentional changes. If there's something that feels different, it might be a bug. And also some people, especially if you've been following the game for a long time or watched the old trailer or even played the old version of the game, you might recognize this guy. We had tried a different visual direction for him before, but we've decided to go back to our old friendly guy. So he's going to have a new visual style for people that haven't seen it or played with this next time you play. Yeah, aren't they so cute? They're just chilling. Actually, last night I did a secret late night task because we wanted to like tweak the placement, and I don't know, I was just vibing, so I was like in the engine and I was like, I bet I could do this. And so I placed this little guy here. Sorry, I hit him, but I had to show you. And here. And I made sure that they're all facing the right direction, which is like, it was really fun. I was like, this is a total vibes thing. Okay, I really cannot tell what's the front of this cushion. I'm doomed.
They're all perfectly in a line, like they're on like a train.
Ugh. But yeah, and actually, so other things we've actually added too, based off of your feedback, because we got a lot of feedback that was really helpful. That was like, hey, I don't know even like what amenities are. I don't know how much they get. Ah! There's a guy in our base.
Oh God, I'm bleeding.
But yeah, so we've tried to add some like signaling so you can actually better see, yeah, like this is a spirit bed. You can see its little spirit icon. You can see how many points it's worth. So all of these, when you're in build mode, will kind of have this like focusable on them so that you can see what they're kind of contributing, which is hopefully going to be really helpful. We've also we're still actually working on it too, based off of the feedback coming in, but we've totally reworked this UI for the sanctuary power and like leveling it up. So hopefully it'll be a lot more legible, at least what you get and what your current power level is, and I don't know what any of this shit does. Because we know that was like really, really hard to tell before. And so we've done a lot of updates to this menu. People have been working really hard on it. Actually, Billy in the chat's been working hard on it. I don't think Luke is in the chat. He's been working really hard on it. But so hopefully this will be a lot clearer.
This is a spot where we've gotten a ton of feedback and has led to a lot of direct change, which is awesome. Very, very like perfect timing, in fact, of like quickly getting it in, quickly getting feedback, and being able to go a pretty different direction with it.
Yeah, it's not always that it like lines up so well like that, but yeah, literally as we were like mocking up this UI, or even when we did our first version, I was like, hey, I just saw this thread in the Discord about like this part being really confusing. So like it was really, really helpful to have that happening in real time. A very rare treat for us. And so you can see too that like some of these are locked. I think we're going to add more details too to make it more clear, like, hey, this is locked behind your next empowerment level. And you can't quite tell because I have them all powered up. I guess if we delete it, but I don't want to delete some stuff. But when these are partially powered, they'll like kind of fill up to show you that you're progressing towards it.
Baldane, a first-time chatter, had a pretty specific question, which is, do you get 2 spirit anchors now at level 3 instead of 4?
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
Yeah, we moved that up because, you know, so we actually reduced the restriction in the current playtest, but we realized we didn't, I think, carry the change through enough to get the result we wanted, which was like, actually, we do want you to be able to, when you get to the next biome, be able to immediately start building. And we actually have added some rules kind of around this too, because this anchor is kind of like, we mentioned, you know, you're creating a sanctuary for your spirits and like you're trying to create a safe haven for them. So when you go to a new biome, you actually will not be able to gather spirits unless you've built a spirit anchor in that biome, because they need somewhere to like actually channel to. You know, you can't just like kind of have them in your pocket. They need like an actual like kind of channeling focal point to go to. And so now we're kind of laddering the progression so that you'll always be able to build a new anchor by the time you're going into the next biome, which was a big pain point too. We've also done some things also to alleviate. I think we do want you to sometimes have to travel back and forth between the biomes after you've gotten to a new one, but not as much as maybe people were having to. So we've also added some like sharpstone to this biome. Oh my god, this guy's staring at me. We added some sharpstone to this biome too in the beginning, so that you can kind of like ease into the progression. There's a little bit more overlap, so hopefully that will kind of like ease some of that friction of going back and forth through the storm wall. We actually are also we realized it wasn't working in the current build, but so this storm wall will actually go down once you've completed this biome. We might move it to sooner. I think we're trying to figure out what feels best, but so like once you kind of rescue the elder spirit and he like stabilizes the realm, so to speak, this storm wall will disappear, and so you'll actually be able to freely travel between these two biomes. But your next biome, because you've not yet kind of like saved and stabilized the magic there, will have a storm wall around it too, and so you'll kind of like be slowly cleansing or stabilizing the world as you kind of progress through it, which hopefully is going to feel really cool. But if it's not, give us feedback. Another thing that's actually changed a lot, which is, I think, at least was more understandable than this menu in the placeholder version is. And by menu, I mean, I don't know, the placeholder text over the guy's head. But is we also revamped the abilities menu, too. And so hopefully it's a little bit more intuitive, like how you pick them. And you have these kind of 2 slots, so you can select which one you want. You know, so you can kind of like equip your like loadout, basically. So there's a lot of new fun abilities, so hopefully this is going to be like a nice little glow up for all of these areas that'll make them a little easier to play around in. And then, yeah.
We had a question.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
It's the danger. Are we going to have different build set for Coralwood?
This is a great question, timely question. We're trying to understand exactly how many building sets we can produce and kind of like what's the right balance between like a full architecture kit, which is what we kind of call like the square and the round kit, versus like what place do say like visual variations have in the game, which is not something we have currently, but it's something we're really interested in. And so we're actually having conversations actively about that right now. And I do think ideally, if we can do all of the things that we want to before early access especially, I think we'll have at least a variation that's like a Coralwood specific one. So you might get like a kind of like coral themed like wall pattern, or maybe like a different kind of like wood that's like colored in like the material of like the trees here, or some things like that. You might get some like variations to your kit and pieces. And I think your next big kit, like your round kit, will probably come in the next biome after that. And we'll kind of like alternate between like giving you like, we'll probably do a limited set of architecture kits because unfortunately they're just very expensive to make and they're very complicated. There's a lot of like logic about like which pieces slot where and how they transition. And so we just can't produce a lot of those. But we hope to produce a few of them so you have a few kind of options and can make like really unique villages. And then we hope to actually give you a lot more visual variation than we do currently. So that's kind of like a change probably we're making in how we approach it. So that's the plan.
It's the danger raises a really good point, which is I'm just overrun with Coralwood and no normal wood.
That's a slightly different question and good observation. Yeah. Something we haven't done, because there are some building pieces that you earn in the Reef that we do, I think, actually want to do a pass to make them kind of actually more specifically build from this like areas with wood. I think we're trying to find the right balance. Oh, I thought that was an enemy.
No, sorry. I put on my torch.
I was like, oh my god. I think we want to find the right balance because there's some things that we're worried might feel really bad, or we just don't have a good plan yet. Like if we made the storage chest, which you get in the Reef, cost Coralwood, it might mean that anytime you want to make this version of this chest, you have to come back. Maybe that's fine. Oh, we're getting a raid. Wow. Thank you,
hey, Mr. Miko and crew.
Wow. Well, if you're just
Thank you
tuning
so
in,
much.
welcome. This is the Voyagers of Nera dev stream. I'm Steph, this is Michael, and we're just talking through some of the changes in our upcoming playtests and what's kind of happening in the game, answering questions. So welcome in, I hope you're interested in that. If you haven't played our game yet or haven't tried it, we have a free-to-play demo that is multiplayer live on Steam right now. It won't have all the cool stuff we're showing today, but it has some other really cool stuff. So if you want to try our game, it's free to play right now on Steam in a demo. So check us out, Voyagers of Nera. If you like it, we would love if you wishlist because it helps us a lot. But he has 2 deaths in here.
Fuzzy Out of Water has had 1 foot in both pools. Mr. Miko is already an expert in our game and responsible as one of the parties who suggested our very own Bullwog trash bin.
Woohoo! Yeah, look how cute it is. This is the guy you saw in the clip, if you haven't seen him yet. And also, Fuzzy and Miko were the originators, I don't know the word, of the first Nera like racetrack. They built this whole crazy racetrack level. They have a VOD of it on their YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's really cool. Well,
pamper your
press-ons. You know, like nails.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't know that actually.
Oh my god, Michael.
I'm sorry. Again, my lack of knowledge is working against me here. The booty scoot is a bug, one that we love, but one that we need to revisit emotes overall. So we have to figure out what form that's going to ship in. So that's something that we're actually still talking about. I know it's something that we love very much, but also it's definitely, I think, the sort of thing where if you've been part of these playtesting, you know what it looks like and have special joy for it. I know we're also like, oh, if you just see yourself scooting by on your butt, is that like a great first impression of the game? Is also a real thought in our heads. So we have some deeper thinking we still got to do around our emotes and what we're gonna do about them, because we know like those emotes are so old. That's like literally like a rig for the character ago. So a lot of
Yeah.
them even look kind of strange and snappy because they no longer really fit with oh my god, with a lot of our other animations. So we got a lot of stuff that we still gotta add and plan out, and that's probably gonna be one of the last things, honestly, before early access, because it's one of the most flexible. Yeah.
Where are the enemies? I want to catch them on fire.
Makes me laugh so much.
We killed them all.
Yes, it is a great first impression.
But yeah,
No,
sorry, you go.
oh, sorry, go on.
No, you go. You can wrap up your thought about.
Oh, I was gonna say
abilities.
we're gonna keep that in mind.
I was gonna say, so yeah, what I'm doing right now on my screen is one of the new abilities, this flame mantle is what we call it. So yeah, you kind of like summon a ring of fire around you that damages enemies and keeps you warm. And speaking of, cold mechanics are actually also a like new thing that's not in the demo currently, but has been in the playtest. So we've kind of added like cold as like a friction at night, and so if you don't have any protection, you'll see that I'm kind of currently chilly. I get this like reduced stamina. When you go like deep under the water at night, it's even colder, or like really high up into the air. But like equipping, equipping things like the warming stone, give you some like more like baseline comfort, so you can kind of stay out in colder weather. Or like the torch, will keep you warm. Also, I have to stand really close when it's someone else's torch. Or the campfires and other things like that. I guess mine's on cooldown now. But my flame mantle will also keep me warm. So if I'm like really, I don't know, don't want to equip like that trinket, I can use the flame mantle to kind of keep me warm. At least every once in a while. Oh, excuse me. So also really cool abilities that I think we really love on the team is like this lightning bolt one. It's a little buggy. You may have seen that. We're trying to fix some of the bugs with it right now, but really feels
targeting.
Feels sick to be like I don't know, I feel like Thor or something. Oh, it's on cooldown. It shares the cooldown. I'm upset. I'll have to wait.
I mean, it probably should. Otherwise, it's ripe
No.
for some abuse.
I want to abuse it. Let me abuse it. I'm trying to think what else we should show. But yeah, abilities was a big one. The spirit base was a big one, and I wanted to like make sure to show just so you could see kind of like the improvements coming down the pipe and some of the things we've been thinking about as we've like read through your feedback. Look at all these little spirits; they're so cute.
A few questions. So Fuzzy says, "Does the flame mantle appear to damage? Does it damage the construct? It does not. It does not. We don't have you acting."
I think it does damage the construct, but it's a really, really low amount. It needs tuning.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant the spirit anchor.
Oh no, the construct like the boss. Yeah, so it does do it, but it's really ineffective right now. So we're doing a tuning pass on it hopefully soon. We're gonna try to get it into the next playtest, but it might be a little underpowered still. But yeah, so it does technically damage it, but it's like really small amount, like so small that the health bar doesn't show up.
Sarah Barra says, assuming the light sources like torches would keep you warm versus the glowstone torches wouldn't. That is absolutely correct. All the way down to the knowledge tree, when you highlight over it, even says so. So you have intuited something that is something that we've put into the game. So yeah, that's dead on. Makes me wonder, eventually get a cold biome. I think that's something we would be very excited to make. But you already know what the first 3 biomes are, so we don't have that currently planned as the one after this. But is that something we would want to make?
Hell
yeah,
yes.
that would be pretty cool.
200%.
Let's see. Cinnabuns. Cold and hot mechanics are not my favorite thing in the world. I definitely understand. I have my own Zelda-based flashbacks of some certain food I have to make to survive. But totally understand. It is something that we see as sort of like a I mean, what would I even call it? Classic friction of the space that leads to a lot of like fun interplay that connects with a lot of other systems in the game, which is why we feel strongly and passionately about it, but totally understand that that's not everything, not for everyone in the world. So it'll also be on us to figure out the ways that problem solving against it are fun and compelling, and not like, you know, a huge pain in the butt of always needing peppers to cook in your food or whatever.
Yeah, and actually, so one interesting note too is that part of the reason we did want to kind of stand up more types of frictions, and cold felt like a really intuitive one, both for like our day-night cycle, just as a really like natural mechanic. Oh, I was concentrating. I was trying not to take damage. But it felt like a really natural one for both our space and just like the mechanics we currently have. But also having more types of frictions lets us actually like distribute some of like the penalties or like pressure to different systems. So right now, and actually our previous version of Hunger as a really great example. Oh fuck, it's Reef Hub. Sorry. Zap them. Hunger used to previously like cap your or reduce your stamina, and you know, I think reducing your stamina and capping your health and your oxygen are all like pretty intense frictions just for like one mechanic. Like you get really heavily punished when you don't eat. Not something we really wanted to like keep in that state, but our ideal goal was always to kind of like ladder on different types of problems that you had to like craft and overcome and solve. One, to alleviate the pressure off of one system, but also just to give you like a variety of things to like to solve and build against. And so an opportunity we got because we introduced this like cold mechanic was that we were able to take the stamina penalty off of the hunger system, put it onto the cold system, and so hunger kind of gets a side effect of being like, it has like a one very like one-to-one penalty, which makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more easy to grok. And other systems can kind of carry that weight. So there's kind of like game design reasons why we want to do that. But obviously we still want your feedback. And if everyone was like, wow, the cold is still way too punishing or sucks, just like with hunger, you know, we'll try to address that. We'll try to give options that feel good, give you tools to deal with it, nerf it if we need to.
You're also getting some picture of the inside where we are, like, you know, if you've ever wondered, do they just like sit and debate like a ton of design things super deeply? And the answer is like, yeah.
That's true. I did not design those things, just to be clear. I am recapping like many conversations that the designers have while I'm in the room. So yeah, we definitely spend a lot of time talking about the game and like what types of challenges players should be facing, what types of things are like engaging or make sense, or like where are we falling short relative to some other crafting games. Oh, you got it. That's why I can't get it.
I do. Look at the sunrise.
Oh yeah, wait, where's the... Woo! Look at that sunrise. Yeah, it looks great. We've also actually made a lot of performance improvements to the Reef recently too. I hope it's felt a little bit better. I think we still have some ways to go, but hopefully it's feeling a little bit better in our recent playtests. Whee! Little mana.
Pamper says the game is really beautiful. Thank you. Sarah Barra is one of our earliest and most vocal Sunrise fans, so thank you for that too.
Sarah Barra has my favorite quote about the game. She's like, if you like video games, you'll like this game. I was like, yes.
Put that on the box.
I don't know why I thought that was so funny. Uh-oh.
Let's see. Will there ever be the ability to dual wield weapons? Oh, that would be super cool. I mean, I think right now, at least the way we're approaching it would probably be more like, here is a different weapon type that is like really around that as a concept, as opposed to like main hand, offhand. But I could see kind of thinking about it both ways now that.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about it, because I do that would be like really different feeling from a lot of the other stuff that we have, and like lead to different gameplay moments or people being able to spec a way that they want. But yeah, I mean, I think thematically there's like a ton of awesome stuff there that could work.
Wait, Michael, can you hear me? I think
Yes.
my internet blipped, I guess, or something. So
Wow.
I could hear him the whole time actually, but no one could hear me, and I assume the stream was kind of like messed up.
Yep. Okay.
I'm so
Short
sorry.
answer. It's okay. It's okay. Dual wield weapons would be cool sometime.
I can't get your camera back either without restarting Discord, so now you're just
It's quite
you're
okay.
your nameplate.
I will be a faceless entity.
Oh, the stream was fine on your end. That's interesting. My computer is like freaking out. I'm glad the stream didn't break. I'm glad you could hear his answer. Oh, wait, can I still hear Michael? Are you still there? Oh no. Wait, is literally all of Discord down? No way, huh? That's awkward. Wait, where am I? Oh, I have encountered also a bug that I think a lot of you have hit that we will work on, which is sometimes when you respawn in, if you're not in a place that likes to load fast, you'll be inside of a rock. Can hear you, but no one else. Yep, I think Discord is dead. So maybe the connection thing wasn't my fault. And now it's a solo stream. Get out of here, Michael. We don't need you. But no, I'm sorry. Sorry for the technical issues. That's really unfortunate. Though we were at the end of our stream window. So at least it died at the end, not in the middle. Yeah, maybe this is a good reason if we could have in-game chat, Michael. Because that would help us. Proximity chat is something actually Michael has always wanted to be in the game. He's been asking for it forever, and we haven't had any reason to do it because normally Discord is like the way that people play games together. So it's just kind of funny. I'm bleeding. Oh, who's bleeding? We're fine. Are there any last questions? So sorry again for the technical difficulties, but any last questions or anything we didn't get to before we call the stream? So hopefully it was like a fun, you know, both behind the scenes peek at, you know, the game and the new mechanics and some of the things for playtesters that are coming up and some of the improvements we're making. But any plans to add anything to sailing? It depends what you mean by anything. Yes, some things. We actually made some, I guess you're probably playing on the version, I think, because you're in the alpha, where we made some improvements to some of, like, the usability of the sailing stuff. I think in terms of, like, new mechanics, eventually we would love to add upgrading to the boat. Not just, like, crafting a brand new boat, though maybe, also, but, like, things like being able to augment your boat with, like, a crafting station of some sort, or, like, a campfire, or a bedroll, or something like that. So we would love to add some mechanics like that someday. We would also love to add boat customization someday. But those are unfortunately a little far off into the future, but post-early access, we were very interested. We wanted to do it pre-early access, but it was just a pretty tough challenge, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, and sailing mechanics like wind. Yes, we definitely also wanted to add wind. We were trying so hard to get that into the last version where we updated it too, but we didn't quite make it. So that's actually why you can turn the sail. We kind of like set it up so that it could have more interaction like with the wind, but it doesn't really have anything too much, so. Oh, we have a screenshot contest going on in Discord. Thank you, Michael. Going on in our alpha Discord right now. So if you are in the alpha and want to enter the screenshot contest, there's a dedicated channel for it where you can post either your sickest builds, you can post really cool pictures of you and the bullwog in the world, kind of whatever you think is super fun. So definitely check it out. I think Cheery has recently posted about it too, and it's on our Twitter. So if you can't find it, let us know though, and we will point you at it if you're really excited. And we're really excited to see what you build and make and what kind of screenshots you upload. Sorry, getting back to some questions. Will there be Linux support for the server files in early access? That is a great question, and I don't know. My default guess is no. But I will check, because I don't know how much of that kind of comes natively with the way that we're developing, or if that's, like, extra work. So we'll probably go with, like, the most common use case, which I think will still be, like, a Windows PC. But I definitely think, you know, one of our goals is that the game is, like, highly accessible to as many people as we can, given, like, you know, constraints of performance and other things. So I think it's a great request for us to put on our backlog. But I will try to get an answer for that. And you can actually, if you want to, you could ask that in the Ask the Devs channel. AK, our backend engineer, is really awesome, super nice, and he would know for sure. Will we see the spirits back on the boat and making it glow? Unfortunately not. At least not for now. Maybe if we find a really good way to bring them back. we will. But that was kind of one of the things that kind of got cut in this like slew of updates, especially because we're trying to like make the boat like individually meaningful. And if we buff it like too far, it has like all these like side effects in the game, like enemies can't catch you, which is maybe fun for you, but I think we want you to fight enemies, or at least have to try to avoid them versus just like be way too fast for them. And so probably that stuff's not going to make it back for now, but not off the table. I think if there's a really cool way to bring it back. We didn't like delete the functionality, we just sunset it. Will there be underwater base building? Not for now, also. I think there is a bug where you can technically get underwater to base build, but it's not a feature. That would be really cool someday. I don't think it's off the table either, but it's something I think we'd have to figure out. Maybe if we make a fully underwater biome, that would be a good opportunity to do something like that. Are we ever going to get gardening? We would love to do that someday. That's also probably a thing that would be post-early access, if it makes sense. Oh yeah, I can show you where I built. Actually, it's like right in the beginning of the reef, too. I feel like actually the way we decorated it kind of makes it look really different. But it's just the starter island. We also built this before these trees were actually here, so you might even be able to build a better base where it isn't clipped in the middle by trees. But yeah, this is where we built. I think there's another really cool building spot in the reef that's actually over here. But it's kind of dangerous to get to. But I think it's this island, or maybe this one. I have some really cool building spots. Hopefully that answered your question about gardening. We would love to do that someday, but it's probably a post-early access thing, if it makes sense, how it fits into our economy. Those kind of things. Decorations, however, are definitely on the table, and hopefully we'll add a lot more decorations, like more plants and other things. Can we make it to where the trees don't grow up in the middle of the buildings? That's something we're trying to figure out what we want to do and if we could support. We don't have a good answer for that now. Unfortunately, it's a little tricky technical problem, especially in a game where you can build anywhere. In other games, you're kind of restricted to either building in specific spots or, like, you're confined within the radius of your base, so at least they know you couldn't, like, invalidate all of the resources in the game. Yeah, sorry for the barking in the background. I think the mail is getting delivered. Yeah, so that's something we're interested in trying to alleviate some of the friction for. We'll see what we can do, but we don't have a good answer today. Yeah, they are cute, but deadly. They're not deadly, actually. They're just cute. They think that they're deadly. I tried to clap at them. It didn't work. But maybe that's a good sign, so I can go wrangle my dogs. I'll answer this last question, and then we'll tune out. Is there going to be a way that we can build something so enemies do not respawn on an island? That is something we are definitely planning to support, want to do, and it's a little less scary for us, because we're probably going to center it around this, like, spirit anchor. So I think you will be able to, eventually, where you place down your spirit anchor, I don't know if it'll be behind a power-up or if it'll just be anywhere, but yeah, you will be able to get rid of enemy spawns, specifically. But, awesome. I think that is all the time we have for today. So thanks everybody for tuning in, for all the great questions. I hope we answered them. If you have any more questions, feel free to join our Discord if you haven't, but hopefully most of you are in there, and you can ask in our Ask the Devs channel. We'll definitely be doing another dev stream in another few weeks, so check us out then. We also have a new playtest build coming probably also in the next week or two. So be on the lookout for that. We'll send out announcements. Make sure to check out the screenshot contest. And definitely post them, even if they're alpha screenshots, it's totally fine to post them on like Twitter, or I guess X, whatever. Blue Sky, Instagram, wherever you post. We would love to see you post. Yeah, thanks everyone so much. See you next time. Really fun. Bye-bye.